Does your husband really love his mistress? Does my husband really love his mistress? It's possible that he loves her in a different way than he loves you. It's also possible that he's using her to fill a void in his life that you can't fill. You can change his feelings, but understanding them can help you deal with the situation. In this video I am going to share some signs that may indicate he loves her more than he loves you. 1. He talks about her all the time. If your husband can't seem to stop talking about his mistress, it's a pretty clear sign that he's obsessed with her. He might try to downplay it by saying she's just a friend, but if he's constantly bringing her up, it's obvious that she's on his mind a lot. 2. He has developed deep emotional connection with her. Your husband really loves his mistress if you feel his relationship with the mistress has tapped into deeper parts of his emotions. If your husband has developed deep emotional connection with the other woman, it's true he really loves her. Different people wake up different parts of ourselves in every relationship. When we love someone, we not only love them for who they are, but also for how they make us feel. 3. He complains about lack of connection with you. Another sign he really loves his mistress is if he complains about the lack of connection with you. If your husband is always complaining that he doesn't feel connected to you, it's likely because he's finding that emotional connection elsewhere. If he complains about lack of connection with you, the mistress may well be his soulmate. It is possible that he found connection with the mistress on every level, sexually, emotionally, intellectually, and many more. This also means that he might have a better friendship with her than with you. So many people settle for a more companionable love in marriage thinking they may never find their soulmate. If they find it in the mistress, you can bet there is love with it. 4. He's always busy with her. If your husband is constantly busy with his mistress, it's another sign that he loves her. If he's always making time for her and not for you, it's because she's a priority in his life. It's not a coincidence that you always catch him taking time with her. Do you always catch your husband talking to his mistress over the phone? Are they always texting each other? Do you remember how many times you have caught him talking to her? Don't take this information lightly. Men don't like to feel smothered, so if your husband is constantly busy with his mistress, it means she's important to him. It is a sign he really has a place for her in his heart. 5. He's not interested in you anymore. If your husband seems to be losing interest in you, it's because he's found someone else who he's more interested in. People find interest in people that bring out the best in them, then love follows, as in any relationship. Loving a mistress is no different than falling in love with anybody in life. Just because a man is married does not mean he can't love somebody else. 6. Your husband has shared a lot of memories with his mistress. Your husband really loves his mistress if he has created enough memories with her. This means there will be so many things in his life that will remind him of her when he sees them. She becomes part of the fabric of his life. So to know if he really loves her, find out how much memories they have shared. If it's a lot, then there is no doubt he really loves her. How much holidays have they spent together? What kind of trips have they taken together? How many intimate moments have they shared? If the answer to these questions is a lot, then it's true he really loves her. 7. Your husband avoids you and only focus on kids and other manly activities. She is the love of his life if he finds more interest in other activities like working, hanging out with friends, or his hobbies, and he gradually starts avoiding you. You will definitely see a change in his behavior when this happens. Husbands that love their wives don't avoid them, they make time for them. If your husband starts avoiding you, it's because he's focused on other things in his life. There are so many things in a man's life that can take up his time: work, kids, hobbies, sports, etc. But if he is always making excuses to not spend time with you, it's because he doesn't want to be around you. You know he really loves his mistress. He is only with you because he is scared to destroy you and potentially mess up his kids too. He is just scared to lose everything he has worked for. Divorce is difficult, but he would divorce you in a heartbeat. Takeaway is, if your husband is avoiding you, he really loves his mistress, and he sees her for the whole person he thinks she sees him as too. 8. He has been with her for many years. Your husband loves his mistress if he has been with her for a long time. This is because he has had time to develop feelings for her. The longer they are together, the more their relationship will grow. You can't fake love, it takes time to develop. If your husband has been with his mistress for many years, it's a sign that he really loves her. If your husband has taken a long time in a relationship with his mistress, chances are she inspires him despite of being married. A man will keep going back to someone they love, no matter how many times they leave. If it's her he runs to every time you have problems, and this has been the case for many years. Just no words cannot express how he feels about her. Men who cheats would normally say having a mistress is substantially rewarding emotionally. It enables him to reconnect with a wife in life, and she in turn also gained a tremendous amount. 9. Your husband is always happy when he is with his mistress. This is one of the most obvious signs your husband loves his mistress. If he is constantly happy when he is with her, it means she brings joy into his life. No one wants to be around someone who is unhappy all the time, so if your husband is always happy when he is with his mistress, it's because he loves her. A happy person attracts people to them. If your husband loves his mistress, then he will be happy around her most of the time. Even if they are in public and he sees her, his face will light up. This is a hard one to fake, so if your husband is always happy when he is with his mistress, it's a sign that he really loves her. 10. He never refer to her as a mistress. This is a good sign that he loves her. If he never refers to her as a mistress, it means he sees her as more than just a sexual partner. He sees her as a human being that he has genuine feelings for. A mistress is someone who is disposable in his eyes, but if he loves her, he will see her as a real person. This is one of the most obvious signs your husband loves his mistress. If he never refers to her as a mistress, it means he has genuine feelings for her and sees her as more than just a sexual partner. Can a married man truly love his mistress? Yes. It is possible for a married man to love his mistress. The love may not be as strong as the love he has for his wife, but it can still be a real and meaningful love. There are many reasons why a married man might fall in love with his mistress. He may be unhappy in his marriage and find comfort and passion with his mistress. Or he may feel like he's missing out on something important in life and find joy and excitement with his mistress. Whatever the reason, it's clear that real feelings of love can develop between two people even if they're involved in an affair. Cheating husbands may not be proud of the feelings they have for their mistress, but that doesn't mean those feelings aren't real. I love my mistress more than wife. Can a man love his mistress more than his wife? There are a lot of different dynamics that go into a relationship where someone is involved with both someone they are married to and someone else they are seeing on the side. But in general, it's usually more complicated than simply loving one person more than another. There can be all sorts of feelings going on: jealousy, anger, resentment, guilt, and it can be tough to navigate those waters. Ultimately, it depends on the specific situation as to what would be best for everyone involved. While it's impossible to know exactly what someone is feeling, based on a post on Quora, it seems that there are at least some men who do indeed love their mistress more than their wife. Do men miss their mistresses? In my article, Do Married Men Miss Their Mistresses? I explore this question in more depth and share some insights from men who have been in this situation. From what I can tell, it seems that yes, men do miss their mistresses. In some cases, they may even love their mistress more than their wife. Men sometimes struggle with their marriage, are desperately in need of a good talk with someone. A mistress that they can confide in, and that will listen to them without judgment. If you think your husband is missing out on this, then he may very well be missing his mistress. Do men miss their affair partners? Many men do miss their affair partners once the affair is over. This is because they had a deep connection with this person, a connection that was based on more than just sex. They may have confided in each other, shared secrets, and felt understood in a way that they don't with their wife. When the affair is over, they can miss that deep connection and companionship. Of course, not all men will miss their affair partner. Some may be relieved to be out of the situation and never want to think about it again. But for many men, there can be a sense of loss after an affair. How can I make my husband love me more than his mistress? There's no guarantee that you can make your husband love you more than his mistress. You can try to improve your relationship with him and make it stronger, but if he's already in love with someone else, it may not be enough. You could also try speaking to him about his feelings and why he feels drawn to his mistress. If he's willing to talk about it openly, it may help you to understand him better and could potentially improve your relationship. However, if he's not interested in talking about it, or if he's unwilling to change his behavior, then it may be time to accept that he doesn't love you the way you want him to. In the end, it's up to you whether you want to stay in a relationship with someone who is in love with someone else. If you decide that it's not worth it, then it may be time to move on. Visit Mom and Kama. Link in description.